Bael is the first hidden ruler, the force that enters quietly, adapts quickly, and governs before most people even realize the gate was left open. This scroll cracks open the ancient warning of silent infiltration, unseen influence, and the subtle powers that weaken the soul, the home, the people, and the earth from within. If you have ever wondered how distortion slips in wearing a calm face, this is the key. Before open tyranny, there is subtle permission. Before the fall, there is unnoticed entry. Before the spirit weakens, something foreign has already made itself comfortable inside the field. This is the wisdom of the first gate. The ancient ones understood that the most dangerous force is not always the loudest. It is often the one that arrives softly, studies the terrain, blends with the surroundings, and settles into the pattern before anyone names it. Bael stands at the beginning because hidden rule always begins in silence. So let the collective open this scroll with clear sight. What enters unnoticed can rule unchallenged. What rules unchallenged can shape fate. What shapes fate must first be seen. The first key of protection is perception.
Universal Current, C receipt, Architect Musician, 3611027. The Graceful Whisperer, Devalan, Ahll.
You don't even have to say nothing, I already know. I know.
We begin where hidden rule begins. The 72 Keys of Earth, Scroll of Bael. The first distortion of hidden rule and silent infiltration. In the Ars Goetia, Bael is the first principal spirit, described as a king ruling in the east, appearing in shifting forms, sometimes cat, sometimes toad, sometimes man, and sometimes all at once. The text says he can make a person go invisible and that he rules over 66 legions. The name also echoes the older Semitic title Baal, meaning lord or owner, once used for major ancient Near Eastern deities, especially among the Canaanites. That is exactly why Bael must open this new cycle. Because the first danger to Earth, to community, to family, and to the soul is rarely loud destruction at the beginning. It is hidden rule, quiet entry, unseen influence, the thing that gets inside before anyone names it. Humanity keeps waiting for evil to kick in the front door wearing horns and a resume. Usually it slips in through appetite, vanity, passivity, convenience, or distraction. So in the Earth Key reading, Bael is not just the first demon in a list. Bael is the pattern of silent infiltration. The old office of invisibility becomes painfully modern here. Not just literal unseen movement in a grimoire, but the way harmful forces operate without being recognized. A poisoned idea, a manipulative trend, a corrupted leader, a deadened conscience, a draining relationship, a system that trains people to normalize what slowly weakens them. By the time the collective notices it, the pattern is already eating at the roots. That is the first distortion. What rules you before you realize it is ruling you. And the three forms matter. The cat is stealth, elegance, quiet approach, instinct dressed as grace. The toad is stagnation, swamp wisdom turned sour, the heavy spell of spiritual dullness. The man is the human face of control, the respectable mask, the voice that makes distortion sound reasonable. Put them together and you get the whole lesson. Some forces enter beautifully, some enter sluggishly, some enter intelligently, but all of them want the same thing if left unchecked: access. That is why Bael stands at the first gate. Not because he is the worst, because he is the beginning of unnoticed occupation. And that is the old wisdom repeating in today's world. The first corruption is rarely open tyranny. It is compromised perception. It is the moment a people stop reading energy clearly. It is when they laugh off the warning, excuse the rot, romanticize the mask, or call infiltration just the way things are now. This is how lands are weakened. This is how families are bent. This is how minds are colonized. This is how spirits lose altitude without ever knowing when the descent began. So the shaman's reading of Bael is sharp. What have you allowed into the field because it did not look dangerous at first? What entered your habits quietly? What entered your spandurge? What entered your standards? What entered your home? What entered your body, your circle, your leadership, your sacred work? Because the first protector is not the one who fights hardest. It is the one who notices earliest. That is the medicine hidden inside the distortion. Bael teaches the collective that clear sight is a form of defense. If a thing must move invisibly to survive, then naming it weakens it. If a thing depends on disguise, then discernment starves it. If a thing rules by entering unnoticed, then conscious watchfulness becomes holy ground. So for those called to protect the key, Earth, this first rereading gives us law. Do not wait for corruption to become dramatic before you confront it. Do not wait for the fruit to rot before you inspect the root. Do not assume what is subtle is harmless. The Earth herself works by pattern. So do distortions. A true guardian learns to read both. The first battle is not against open darkness. It is against the part of the self that keeps leaving the gate unguarded. Hear this first key plainly. Not everything that enters softly comes in peace. Not everything that hides is weak. Not everything that looks adaptable is wise. Some things are ancient because they are effective. They know how to slip past the guard of the distracted. So become less distractible. Become less governable by glamour. Become less willing to host what drains the field. Because the first power of a protector is not force. It is this, to recognize the hidden ruler before it writes its law across your life. In the Ars Goetia, Bael is listed as the first principal spirit, a king ruling in the east, appearing as cat, toad, man, or all at once, making one invisible and ruling 66 legions. The older term Bael meant lord or owner and was used for important ancient Near Eastern deities, especially in Canaanite religion. The Goetia tradition draws on earlier demon catalogs, including Johann Weyer's Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. Scroll of Wisdom Collective, remember this and carry it like fire. Not every enemy arrives with noise. Some enter through neglect. Some enter through comfort. Some enter because the gatekeeper fell asleep. So guard your field. Guard your mind. Guard your standards. Guard what you allow to sit in your spirit and call itself normal. Because the first invasion is seldom force. It is permission. And the wisdom many will repeat is this: what enters unnoticed will rule unchallenged. What rules unchallenged will shape your fate. So see early and stay sovereign. That is the law of the first key.
Channeled by your architect musician, 36110, 27 palms of eyes. The golden whisperer, sea star, Devalan, see all. Apply the news you can use, truth and accuracy. The real non-bedazzled jewels.
Bael is the first hidden ruler, the silent force that enters before the soul realizes the gate was left open. This scroll reveals how unseen influence, quiet corruption, and subtle distortion begin shaping fate long before the damage becomes obvious. The first invasion is rarely loud. It begins with what you excuse, ignore, normalize, or leave unguarded. What enters unnoticed will rule unchallenged.
Until next time, your sea star Curacy, channeled by 3611027, the beautiful whisperer. Our sea star Devalan CO. Apply the news you can use.
To our beautiful collective, from our day ones to every new soul joining this journey, we love and appreciate you deeply. You've turned this space into so much more than a community. You've made it a family. Thank you, truly. Your presence, your energy, and even the smallest acts of kindness have the power to shift the compass for many in ways unseen but deeply felt. Here's to each of you, all new and the many more to come. We're just getting started, and we're so grateful you're here with us. With love and infinite appreciation from the collective of Shaman Ahll.